Is pugging possible with Vykas? Is it possible clearing with 8 DPS? Can you do this with no voice comms? Can these players clear it? Most of them are pretty close to the minimum eye level requirement with flaws in suboptimal engravings, gems, stats, and cards. The answer to all this is yes. It took only 4 tries with this group in order to clear Vykas Gate 3 normal mode, and for the most part it went fairly smooth. If you spent the time in order to learn Vykas' mechanics in hard mode, I highly recommend that you try out 8 DPS groups for your ults. The players that are usually entering 8 DPS groups are most likely the ones that are very confident and have already cleared hard mode and they already know the mechanics of the boss fight. If you haven't already learned the mechanics of Vykas, I highly recommend that you put in some time and join a progression party in order to learn the Legion raid properly. I myself took around 20 hours before actually clearing Vykas hard mode for all 3 gates. I know some people learn a little bit faster or slower, but don't worry about it. Eventually, as you keep doing it, you're going to be able to learn the mechanics. The Vykas Legion raid requires a lot of trust from each party member to understand the mechanics and the phases properly throughout the boss fight. I know there's some people that will try to sneak in into alt re-clear groups or experience groups without learning any of the mechanics or going in blind, but you should definitely not do this because a couple of reasons. One, it's painfully obvious who doesn't know the mechanics after failing it a couple times. And 2 is that essentially you're just wasting time from the other 7 players. Some people will say that's essentially gatekeeping, and yes it is in a way. However, if you join the alt re-clear group, I expect everybody to have cleared Vykas and understand the mechanics of the boss fight. If you join a progression group, I expect everybody to be new and still learn about the Legion raid fight. So pretty much find a group that fits your needs, because you have to remember there's 7 other players playing with you and not everybody has infinite time in order to play Lost Ark. In an ideal situation, we all had so much time in the world in order to teach new players on how to do the Legion raid, but sadly that's not the case. Some players only have a couple hours each day to complete what they need to complete, so be respectful of other people's time. So if you need a progression group, join that and learn the boss fight. If you need an alt re-clear group, join that, and you can pretty much gauge on player skill level. I've joined a couple alt re-clear groups where we were failing on the first swamp phase. I pretty much knew those groups were doomed from the start. So pretty much you can't cheat your way around knowing the mechanics for Vykas. But before I go, I have one more tip for you guys. So if you look at the gameplay here, I'm cleansing my stacks currently at around bar 135, and it's going to be the typing test. If you do an 8 DPS group, I highly recommend that you tell everybody ahead of time. If any of you guys fail 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times, to time stop it afterwards. Normally you could have a support here to shield through the damage, but if it's 1, 2, or 3, you're going to have to time stop it. If it's 4 or higher for fails, it's going to be an immediate wipe, so don't bother time stopping there. But, you know, make sure that everybody's just aware of it, time stop that part. But pretty much, the rest of the fight proceeds pretty much smoothly. You can watch through the rest of the fight. There's one more additional change for normal mode, if you haven't noticed, is that you have an extra yellow orb to cleanse through the stacks. So I highly recommend that you use the 6 o'clock orb right after tentacle phase. So normally you would just wait till line 10 in order to use the last orb, but with the additional orb, I would just cleanse just in case you have people that are about to be charmed at 6 o'clock, and then closer towards line 10 for Vykas, you can go to 9 o'clock in order to cleanse there. But that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the video and some of these tips, and I think in my next video I'm going to put a collection of tips that I've learned throughout the boss fight in order to make pugging a lot easier and more approachable for people that are having trouble trying to get pugs done. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time for another video for Lost Ark. Peace.